Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Crazy Joe, and we are once again talking about Warner Brothers and HBO Max. Well, the last video I did, and I haven't been putting out as many videos lately because, quite frankly, there hasn't quite been as much to talk about. We're in that weird time where there's just not a lot of movies coming out because pandemic and all. So there's less to talk about these days, and hopefully that'll turn around soon. But the last video I did was on HBO Max, and HBO Max announced plans to release every single Warner Brothers movie from 2021 on the HBO Max streaming service the exact same day that they hit theaters. I went over the pros and cons of this on my last video. I talked about how it's good for HBO Max. It's a great deal for HBO Max because they are a failing streaming service. They are not doing well, mostly from their own doing and their stubborn pig-headedness of fighting with Roku and not agreeing to whatever terms Roku wants. It's their own stubbornness that's really holding them back. But they are determined to turn HBO Max into a real contender in the quote-unquote streaming wars, and this is their power move. And I said it's a great move for HBO Max. It will bring the viewers to HBO Max. Long term, not a good plan for Warner Brothers. Not a good plan because they are sabotaging their box office numbers, and that's where the real money is made. There has never been a streaming movie that has grossed $1 billion. However, at the box office, they can gross up to $1 billion, and then they come to streaming eventually, so you still get that streaming revenue. So you're going to get that revenue on streaming no matter what, because it's going to come to the streaming service eventually. You're just basically cutting out a portion of the take, the box office take. You're going to have the streaming no matter what, but you could have the streaming and this could be worth $1 billion, but you're giving that up and you're just getting this, which you were going to get anyway. It's a stupid move for Warner Brothers. Great move for HBO Max because it will drive traffic there, no question. Well, we went over the pros and cons last time, but now we are dealing with the fallout. And let me tell you something. It is my prediction this isn't going to happen. I do not think this is going to happen. Warner Brothers, my prediction is Warner Brothers will not release every single movie from 2021 direct to HBO Max. I don't think it's going to happen. They will release some of them, maybe several of them, maybe even most of them, but it won't be all of them. And it's because Warner Brothers has really, really upset the people they don't want to upset, which is the talent, the filmmakers, the people who make their movies. If Warner Brothers wants to keep in the business of working with these people, they got to make them happy. And right now, these people are not happy. Let's start with Legendary Pictures. Legendary Pictures is suing Warner Brothers. Legendary Pictures has financed up to 75% of two of Warner Brothers' highest budget 2021 movies, Godzilla vs. Kong and Dune. And as the people who put 75% of the money out there, they are not pleased with what Warner Brothers is doing, and they are going to sue over it. Now, apparently Warner Brothers believes legally it's on their side because the contract does give Warner Brothers the right of distribution, and they think having the right of distribution, they have all the legal, the law is on their side, is what Warner Brothers says. And they may be right. They're probably right. They got lawyers. They probably looked into this. But it's still not a good idea because when you're talking about a studio that finances up to 75% of several of your movies, it's 2 this year, but it's not the only 2 movies Legendary's ever financed for Warner Brothers. You are burning a powerful partner. And Legendary is going to think twice about financing any Warner Brothers projects going forward after this. And that is not a smart move for Warner Brothers, to piss off one of your financiers. You don't really want to do that, because then you're going to struggle to find financing for movies going forward. It's a bad move. It's a bad move. And Legendary is not pleased. But it doesn't end at Legendary. Legendary is the first that is going to court about it. Legendary is going to sue them. But that's not it. Christopher Nolan is not happy. Christopher Nolan is one of the top filmmakers right now. Anyone who watches this channel knows I'm not personally a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I think he's very hit or miss. Some of his movies, like Memento, are brilliant. I think some of his movies, like Inception, not Inception, the most recent one, Tenet, I thought was pure garbage. And Inception, I basically thought was really, really overrated. So Christopher Nolan is very hit or miss for me. But there's no question he's one of the most respected filmmakers working today. And he's very, very popular. He is not happy. He has a long-standing relationship with Warner Brothers. He's done a lot of movies for Warner Brothers. Most recently, Tenet, Interstellar, the Dark Knight trilogy. They got a good relationship. Inception. And he has declared that HBO Max, he said, is the worst streaming service around. The worst. He is not happy. So if Warner Brothers wants to keep working with Christopher Nolan, they're going to have to rethink this, because Christopher Nolan isn't going to want to work with them going forward. He is a firm believer in the theatrical experience, and there are studios out there who do not have their own streaming service. So when Christopher Nolan is ready to make his next movie, he's probably not going to go to Warner Brothers. He's probably going to say, hey, Sony, you don't have a streaming service. I'll go to you, because odds are the movie will end up in theaters because you don't have a streaming service to dump it on, like HBO or Disney Plus. That's that's going to happen with a lot of filmmakers, a lot of high-profile filmmakers who don't want their movies to be on a streaming service, who want their movies to get the theatrical release. They're going to think twice about working with HBO. James Gunn, director of Suicide Squad 2, which is one of the films that's due to open on HBO Max, he's not happy about it. He has back-end deals, and he thinks that he's not going to get what he was promised. So he has come out against this move. Also, we got some people who, on the Hollywood Reporter, a lot of this comes from, what I'm saying to you, comes from an article on the Hollywood Reporter. And I'm going to read you some of the quotes from that article. Those people who I just identified, Christopher Nolan and James Gunn, we know who they are. They come out, they're open about their dislike here. But now we also have some agents who declined for this the Hollywood Reporter article to be named. So let's tell you what some of them said. They did not give their names. But one agent said, Warner Brothers has made a grave mistake. Never have this many people been this upset with one entity. Another agent said Warner's was the quintessentially talent-friendly, filmmaker-friendly studio. Now Warner's isn't first, second, or third place you would want to go. And another insider said, as soon as these drop on HBO, there's going to be an excellent version of the movie available immediately. That's talking about piracy, because once this genie's out of the bottle, piracy is going to be running rampant. You can't contain it when it's out. We're not talking about the old days where you went into a movie theater with a camcorder and then sold it on the street, and people would pop in the VHS, and it's like you could barely see it, and it was dark, and it looked like crap, and people's heads were popping up. No, we're talking about perfect digital copies, because people are going to be able to. The pirates know how. I don't know how. I'm not a tech savvy guy. You probably don't know how, but the pirates know how to rip these things right from the streaming service. So they'll rip it right from HBO, and they'll pirate it everywhere. It'll be torrenting. If torrenting is still a thing, I don't know. I'm not tech savvy. I'm a film guy, not a tech guy. What can I tell you? So piracy is going to be a major problem. So basically, Warner Brothers has pissed off the entire film community. And I think Warner Brothers is going to have a lot of backpedaling to do. Like I said, I do not think these plans, they announced every single 2021 release will be heading to HBO Max day and date. expect the backpedal. I'm expecting the backpedal. Will some of them go day and date? Oh, yeah. Some of them will. Some of them, the ones that probably weren't going to be huge hits, like, I'm sure Tom and Jerry is going to go day and date to HBO Max. I don't doubt Tom and Jerry will be there. But I don't think we're going to see Kong versus Godzilla or Dune. I don't think they will go to HBO Max. I think Legendary's suing. Something's going to drop here. They're going to need to make their partner happy in some way. And the only ways they can do that would be to sign a really, 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 really big check, which maybe they're willing to do to continue this move to put HBO Max on the map. And, or they're going to backtrack. One or the other is going to happen. I am predicting all 17 2021 releases will not hit HBO Max day and date. That is my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. But if Warner Brothers wants to keep working with this talent, they got to keep the talent happy. And right now, the talent is not happy. How do I feel about this? Well, quite frankly, I'm on the side of the filmmakers. I'm on the side of Legendary Pictures. I am not crazy about this plan because anything that hurts movie theaters, and as I said on my last video, I do not believe this will kill movie theaters. Movie theaters will survive because that is where the big profit is. And this is one studio saying they're going to do this for 1 year. You don't see Disney doing this. That's another thing. That's another thing the Hollywood Reporter article mentioned. It mentioned that Warner execs are hoping Disney's going to follow suit and announce the same thing, that they're going to drop all their movies to Disney Plus. Except the insiders who know what's going on in the business are saying, do not expect that to happen. Absolutely not. No way, no how. Disney made 7 movies in 2019. 7 movies in 2019 that crossed $1 billion. There has never been a $1 billion streaming movie, ever. Disney had 7 billion-dollar movies in 2019. So Disney knows where their bread and butter is, and it's in the theaters. And that's part of the reason you have not seen Black Widow on Disney Plus yet. Yes, some of their smaller profile films, like the Cruella de Vil film, things like that, they're talking about Disney Plus. And that's the thing with a streaming service. You do need to feed it new content to keep your subs happy, but you're not going to give them your big ticket item. Well, apparently HBO is, but that is because Disney Plus has 78 million subscribers in a year. 78 million. And HBO, HBO has, 8 million? I wrote it down somewhere. And I lost where I wrote it. They have something like 8 million active subscribers, which is a pretty set 8.6 activated accounts. 8.6 million versus Disney's 78 million. So that's why HBO is willing to drop this crazy big bomb, because, well, they are a bomb. They bombed out. And this is their last-ditch effort to get some attention to themselves. Again, HBO wouldn't have been in this position if they had played nice with Fire Stick and Roku early on, but they're still not on Roku. And there was an article today in, was it Variety? I think it was Variety, that says you will not be seeing a deal between Roku and HBO this year. This is going to last straight through to 2021 because they're nowhere near a deal yet. So HBO, man, really screwed the pooch on their launch, and this is their bailout plan, but their bailout plan just pissed off half of Hollywood. So there you go. My allegiance is with the theaters and with the theatrical exhibitions of these movies. If these studios can block HBO's plan and get these movies some exclusivity in theaters before coming to HBO Max, that is what I would love to see happen, and that gets all my support. So, and anyway, we'll see what happens. Fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be quite a roller coaster ride, seeing what happens with HBO Max after these announcements. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander pajamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas.
Keep on wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.